Have you ever noticed that sometimes the more you try, the further away you seem from what you want? It might seem counterintuitive, but this is the essence of the law of reversal. It suggests that excessive effort could be the very thing keeping you from reaching your greatest goals. In today's world, we're bombarded with the idea that we should keep pushing, work tirelessly, and never give up. But what if I told you that by relaxing your grip, things might start flowing naturally? Alan Watts, a major figure in Eastern philosophy, and even Schopenhauer, spoke about this. The key to getting what you want lies in not trying so hard. If this sounds strange, get ready, because in this video, you'll discover how this reverse approach might be exactly what you need to finally achieve inner peace, true wealth, and a balance that could change your life. Many people believe that the harder they try, the closer they'll be to success. But have you ever noticed that sometimes the more you try, the further it seems? This is the so-called law of reversal. When you pour too much energy into something, often the outcome is the opposite of what you wanted. Imagine a situation where you really want to control something, like a job interview. The more you stress and try to manage every detail, the more tense you become, impacting your performance. The subconscious mind interprets this tension as resistance, and what was meant to flow stalls. So how do you deal with this? The answer lies in reducing conscious effort. Instead of clinging tightly to your desire, try letting it go a little. This doesn't mean giving up, but trusting that the balance between effort and detachment is more powerful than sheer willpower. Alan Watts, a philosopher known for popularizing Zen Buddhism in the West, often said that the harder you try to be happy, the further you drift from happiness. The secret is to relax conscious control and allow things to happen in their own time. A simple example: when you try hard to remember something you've forgotten, the more you force it, the further away the answer feels. But as you relax, it naturally comes to mind. In practice, try a different approach with your goals. If you're struggling to achieve something like wealth or self-discovery, ease up on the pressure. Focus on activities that put you in a state of flow, where mind and body work in harmony. For example, instead of studying tirelessly for hours, take breaks and allow yourself moments of mindfulness. Sometimes stepping back can be the real way forward. Now, how about diving deeper into how to find this balance? Have you ever thought that maybe the secret isn't working more, but working with balance? Many believe that success only comes with relentless effort, but in truth, overworking can actually distance you from your goals. Picture someone chasing multiple goals at once, with no rest. Mental and physical fatigue pile up, and what could be a fulfilling journey turns into a source of stress. Here lies the wisdom of Eastern philosophy, which teaches the importance of balance in everything we do. Hard work is necessary, but without balance, you risk losing yourself along the way. Alan Watts, a strong advocate of Eastern philosophy in the West, talked about the art of finding harmony in chaos. Instead of focusing only on material goals like accumulating wealth, it's essential to cultivate a balanced mindset. This also involves letting go of certain outcomes and trusting the process more. When you take time to nurture your inner peace, everything around you begins to make more sense. Practices like meditation and mindfulness are excellent allies in this. They help you regain control of your subconscious mind, bringing balance to both body and mind. So instead of thinking you need to work more hours or push harder, why not try something different? If your routine is packed with commitments, try setting aside a few moments to simply pause. Read a book like The Tao of Physics by Fritjof Capra, which blends science with Eastern philosophy. Or take some time for a mindful walk, staying fully present. The balance between action and pause not only boosts productivity, but also brings a profound sense of peace and harmony. Now let's move on to explore how this balance is deeply rooted in Eastern philosophies. Eastern philosophy, especially through Zen Buddhism, carries a profound teaching. Life is not about control, but about flow. Alan Watts was one of the figures who brought this perspective to the West, helping to dismantle the mindset that we constantly need to fight to achieve our goals. Instead, he reminds us that true power lies in detachment, in letting things follow their natural course. This doesn't mean abandoning your desires, but rather letting go of the obsessive need to control everything. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The more you try, the more it slips away. For many, detachment sounds like giving up, but Eastern philosophy teaches the exact opposite. When you let go of attachment to outcomes, you start to see opportunities arise in unexpected ways. Take, for instance, a work situation. When you're overly concerned with how you'll be perceived or whether your effort will be acknowledged, it creates tension and anxiety. However, by letting go of external validation, you start working with more lightness and creativity. Schopenhauer, one of the great Western thinkers, also discussed this concept, stating that suffering stems from unfulfilled desires, and the more we detach, the more we find harmony. To apply this philosophy in your life, begin practicing detachment daily. If you're constantly searching for something, like success or love, pause and reflect. Are you putting too much effort into trying to control the outcome? A practical way to embrace detachment is by meditating daily, focusing on your breathing and the present moment without worrying about what's to come. Over time, you'll notice that things start to align naturally, without so much effort. The inner peace that emerges from this practice is liberating, bringing a deeper understanding of how to accept life's flow. Now let's explore how this acceptance can lead to true inner peace. Accepting the present moment can be one of the hardest lessons to learn, yet it's also one of the most liberating. Often, we're so focused on chasing our desires that we forget to appreciate what we have now. The constant yearning for something more, be it success, money, or recognition, traps us in a cycle of dissatisfaction. However, by accepting the present moment, you free yourself from this endless search and find true inner peace. Alan Watts often said that the key to happiness is not in getting what we want, but in accepting where we are. Zen Buddhism teaches that inner peace doesn't come from having more, but from wanting less. This doesn't mean you should abandon your goals. Instead, it's about finding peace in the journey rather than being tied to the result. For example, if you're striving toward a financial goal, instead of feeling frustrated about not reaching it yet, focus on the progress you've made. This shift in perspective is powerful, bringing a deep sense of harmony and happiness. Practices like mindfulness can help you connect more with the present and less with future desires. A practical way to apply this concept is through daily meditation, focusing on gratitude for what you already have. When you're thankful for the present, you create space for inner peace to grow. Do this each day, whether in the morning or before bed, and watch how your subconscious mind starts working in your favor. By accepting the present moment, you also open yourself to a state of flow, where life seems to unfold naturally with little effort. And in this state, true wealth begins to emerge, not as something external, but as a mindset of abundance. Let's explore this sense of wealth next. True wealth isn't measured by how much you have, but by how much you value what you already possess. Many people spend their lives chasing more money, higher status, and additional possessions, yet still feel empty inside. This is because true wealth doesn't lie in material things, but in a mindset of abundance. When you learn to appreciate what you already have, regardless of the amount, you feel rich. As Alan Watts taught, happiness doesn't depend on how much you have, but on how you view what you have. And this simple shift in perspective can completely transform your life. The idea of wealth as a mindset also reflects how we handle life's challenges. A person with an abundance mindset views difficulties as growth opportunities rather than insurmountable barriers. For example, instead of focusing on what you haven't yet achieved, celebrate the progress you've already made. This shift in perspective changes your energy and engages your subconscious mind to work in your favor, creating a state of flow where things seem to happen more naturally. It's a balance between the desire to grow and gratitude for where you are. To apply this in your life, start by cultivating a habit of gratitude. Set aside a few minutes daily to reflect on what you already have, whether it's a friendship, a job you enjoy, or even small pleasures like a morning cup of coffee. This simple practice can change how you see the world, opening doors to a form of wealth that goes beyond the material. And when you're at peace with what you have, love and self-discovery begin to flow much more naturally. Let's delve into this idea of love and self-discovery in the next section. True love isn't something you find by desperately searching for it. In fact, it emerges when you're at peace with yourself. And this is where self-discovery comes in. Many people exhaust themselves looking for external love, but the secret is first to know and love yourself. By diving into self-discovery, you create the conditions for love to come to you. It's as if, by focusing on your own happiness and well-being, you become a natural magnet for people who share that same energy. The journey of getting to know yourself brings a balance between the desire to love and inner peace. This path of self-discovery is full of nuances, but each step you take toward your true self strengthens your capacity to love and be loved. Think of self-discovery as the ability to accept yourself with both strengths and flaws. By doing this, you become less dependent on external love and more centered in your own harmony. A practical example of this is setting aside time for activities that truly make you happy, whether it's reading a good book or practicing a hobby. When you're aligned with who you are, love, whether in relationships or other forms, becomes a natural outcome. So, instead of seeking love in all directions, turn inward. Ask yourself what makes you happy, what makes you feel at peace with the world. Over time, as you cultivate self-discovery, you'll find that love starts flowing into your life in unexpected ways. And this brings us to an interesting point: how the constant pursuit of desires can often lead to suffering. Next, we'll explore how Schopenhauer approached this topic and how detaching from these desires might be the key to true happiness. Schopenhauer, one of the great thinkers in Western philosophy, argued that desire is the root of all human suffering. The more we want something, the more vulnerable we become to disappointment. The cycle of desire traps us in an endless pursuit of something that never seems to be enough, creating a constant state of dissatisfaction. Imagine wanting success, but as soon as you achieve it, you feel the need for more. This is the paradox. By satisfying one desire, another quickly takes its place, and the cycle continues. According to Schopenhauer, suffering is inevitable as long as we're caught in this endless pursuit. Eastern philosophy, like Zen Buddhism, echoes this idea by presenting detachment as a path to happiness. Instead of letting desires consume you, the way forward is learning to let go. This doesn't mean abandoning your aspirations entirely, but rather not allowing them to control your inner peace. When you detach from outcomes, you experience a lightness that brings harmony and a sense of freedom. A practical example: imagine you really want a promotion at work. By focusing excessively on it, you stress yourself out and become drained. But by releasing the obsession with the outcome, you're able to work more calmly and effectively. To apply this concept, start by observing your own desires. Make a list of the things you want most and ask yourself, are these desires bringing happiness or suffering? By identifying where desire is causing tension, you can practice detachment. And as you learn to let go, inner peace begins to flourish, placing you in a state of flow where life seems to unfold naturally. Speaking of flow, in the next section, we'll explore how this state can transform your life and performance. The flow state is that moment when you're so absorbed in an activity that everything around you seems to disappear. Actions flow naturally, effortlessly, and time seems to stand still. This happens when you let go of conscious control and allow your subconscious mind to take over. Often, by trying to control every detail of a situation, you disconnect from this state. Think of an athlete who, in trying to force a perfect performance, loses rhythm and the natural feel of their movements. But when they enter a state of flow, everything unfolds with ease. This concept, widely discussed by philosophers and psychologists like Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, also aligns with Zen Buddhist teachings. In Zen, the idea is that by silencing the mind and letting go of conscious effort, you access a deeper level of performance. To enter this state, there must be a balance between challenge and skill. In other words, the task needs to be stimulating, but not so much that it causes stress. A practical example is when you're working on something you truly enjoy. Hours pass by unnoticed, and the result is always better than when you try to force things. So, how can you enter this flow state in everyday life? Start by identifying activities that make you lose track of time. It could be a hobby, creative work, or even a deep conversation with someone. Instead of trying to control every step of the process, trust in your preparation and let things happen. The flow state not only boosts your productivity, but also brings a sense of harmony and genuine happiness. Now that we understand the power of flow, let's see how to apply all this to transform your life through a balance between effort and detachment. Have you noticed how the law of reversal might be the key to transforming your life? Instead of fighting against the current, the way forward is learning to flow with it. Excessive control, the relentless pursuit of results, all of this only creates more resistance. Now ask yourself, what are you trying to control too much in your life? And what if, from now on, you started practicing detachment? This might be the missing step to achieve balance, inner peace, and even the material successes you're striving for. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep learning about how to apply these concepts in your life, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's continue on this journey of self-discovery and growth, always seeking ways to live with more balance and harmony. Remember, the greatest changes start with the small steps we take today.